Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic: Students/teachers of Reddit, what's the best forgot to turn off the mic story during virtual learning? Well, it happened in one of the classes. The teacher was going through a rough time and the class could feel it. We assured her that we had done our homework and that she could take rest for the time being. She agreed and told she would switch her mic off and sleep for a while, as we did whatever. Her husband was right beside her and the mic wasn't turned off. She told, "I am so lucky to have these students," and started sobbing to her husband. We all heard this, but kept quiet to prevent her being embarrassed. She slept well during that time and we sent her a thank you gift collectively. This is by far the happiest post here I've seen. As a professor teaching virtually this semester, this gives me all kinds of hope. I'm also adjunct, so I don't have money for internet points, but no, I think you deserve that shit. Thank your classmates for me. Ironically, my IT teacher forgot to turn off his mic and camera and proceeded to get in a very heated argument on the phone with his ex-girlfriend who he has a kid with. Did I mention that she's also a teacher at our school? Yeah, most awkward 5 minutes of my life before he realized. Probably also the most awkward 5 minutes of his life. Most awkward moment was when he realized he wasn't muted. Wasn't that awkward for him to do it? I teach for an online university that requires me to conduct a weekly live session. One morning I was lecturing and a student popped in late. I said, "Hello, student name. Thanks for joining us." She said, "Don't say my name, bitch," just before she realized her mic was on and turned it off. I just laughed. All future interactions with her need to be prefaced with, "Yes, she who must not be named. The unnamed heathen child." Kudos for keeping your calm. I think this is one of those moments when their embarrassment more than makes up for your flash of anger. I don't have any funny mic stories, but I am at a high school. A couple of students were using Google Docs to chat with each other. It was the start of the year and they didn't know teachers have a God's view of your class computers yet. They were chatting about how annoying I was and they hated my class. It was day 2. Lol. I just announced I think it's important we all know that teachers can see your screens, so please don't have any conversations you wouldn't want me to hear or read. They both turned blood red. Satisfying. I was producing a video for some university professors on a specific medical thing for a virtual learning course. I was all set up to shoot the process, and the teachers excused themselves to the next office to regroup and have a chat. I already had their wireless lav mics attached and fed to my camera, so when I sat down at the camera and put on my headphones I immediately heard their conversation. They were criticizing me, saying they couldn't believe they hired someone so young, inexperienced in that particular medical field, how I looked, how I asked questions, etc. Oops. At least I made them a fine video. These days I don't put my headphones on until we're about to shoot. Oh, that's so sad. I hope you proved them wrong big time with an amazing video. I did my best. My personal rule wearing a lav is to assume the mic is on the whole time I'm wearing it. Sub-rule, don't trash talk the crew on set. 2. Good job making them a fine video. That's the mark of a pro doing a quality job, even if the client/talent are insufferable egomaniacs. 3. It's amazing how some medical people forget that they weren't born knowing everything about their field. I guarantee they were once inexperienced and asked stupid questions. Ask them to explain white balance, and they would probably say it has something to do with racial equality. During my English class, this one girl forgot to mute herself. While my teacher was talking, she almost deafened all of us on the Zoom call answering her mother's questions. Her mother, from a distance, "What class are you in?" Her, yelling, "English." Her mother, "Oh, the hot teacher." Her, "Yeah, that guy." Now, even I'll admit my teacher is fairly attractive, but it does take it to another level when you get your own mother involved. Thankfully, our teacher is a chill guy and thought the whole thing was just kind of funny, and kind of just gave a general reminder to the class to keep mics muted. She didn't say anything for the rest of the class. Hell, it probably made his week. Even good-looking guys don't get that many compliments, so yeah. In a math class I was in last year, we were taking a test, which you have to turn your mic on for, their way of trying to prevent cheating. Some girl apparently forgot that hers was on and started belting out "Stand By You" by Rachel Platte at the top of her lungs. It went on for the entire song and she was still humming it when I finished the test and left the call. Lol, having your mic on does not stop text conversations, as far as my experience goes anyways. You could literally Google answers. Dude, my one teacher forgot to turn off his camera and his son was changing in the background and the son kept on looking at the camera. I remember a similar question where a mom answered that she was taking a Zoom call in the garden, until a co-worker mentioned that there was a naked kid skateboarding behind her. Bart Simpson. I aspire to be like naked skateboarding kid. My teacher got scolded by his wife, another teacher in school, because she needed to work and he didn't repair her computer. He was a computer technology teacher and he just keeps saying, "Sorry honey, I forgot. I won't do it again. I promise it will take 2 seconds to fix it." In loop because the wife went on a little rant of how he always forgot things. When he saw the mic was still on, he blushed and after a moment of silence just went on with the lesson. Edit, thanks for the award. Of how he always forgot things. When he saw the mic was still on, he blushed and after a moment of silence just went on with the lesson. A moment of silence for his pride, LMAO. When I was doing an online algebra camp, the teacher forgot to turn off his mic while we were supposed to be doing some problems. He said, "I fucking hate math." As a math major, I can confirm that the better you are at math, the more you hate it. As someone extremely shitty at math, I can confirm that it goes both ways. Girl forgot to turn off her mic and started screaming at her parents in Chinese. I wish I understood what she said. After few minutes, she gasped loudly when she finds out she didn't mute it. Good thing not many people understood. It was Chinese class. Op is just failing. In a thermodynamics class, one of the students said, "Holy shit, this is so much," after covering a large set of equations related to fugacity. Everyone found it relatable. One of my professor's classes had a student say something like, "I just joined 5 minutes before class and this asshole is already teaching." The professor just laughed and told him his mic was on. Something similar happened in my class. In Zoom you can text something for the entire class to see or you can send something to a person individually. So, a friend of mine thought he sent me this fucking retard can't expect us to do that exercise, it's 8 AM in the morning, but he sent it to the entire class. The teacher saw it, everything stopped for like 30 seconds and then he continued like nothing ever happened. Felt bad for the guy. Ha ha, fugacity. It's where overrated vegan punk bands live. In one of my classes, this girl wrote in the Zoom chat, "This is so fucking boring," not realizing that the professor could see it. How stupid do you have to be to do that? I mean, it literally says, "to everyone." Wrong window. Maybe she also had a private group chat going with friends. Not a mic but an elementary student left their camera for a moment and the mother walked by naked. Guessing she asked him to leave the room so she could change or something, not realizing the camera was left on. Edit, I just got back on Reddit and saw the reaction. Wow, far and away my highest upvoted comment. Would not have guessed that this one would blow up. Reddit is too thirsty. Stacy's mom has got it going on. This is why we have these threads. I'm not a student, but work in the tech industry. I've been in meetings where people forget to mute themselves on large company calls, with hundreds or thousands of attendees, and we'll hear a fart and then a toilet flush. That's about as interesting as these meetings get though. Same. We had an update about a reorg that was supposed to be very serious because everyone's job was on the line. There were like 1 Kelvin ppl on the call and the VP could get a word in because there was always someone you muted in a room filled with babies operating a jackhammer or something. Also there was a toilet flush, which was hilarious. The image of a room full of babies operating a jackhammer is awesome. Not virtual, but I was a guest speaker at a music college last year. My mic was still on when I finished, went backstage and said, "Well, that was fucking horrible." I wasn't called back to speak again. Edit, for those curious of the aftermath, I heard it out of the speakers and an immediate uproar of laughter ensued. I would have laughed had I been a student, but as a working professional it was one of the single most awkward experiences of my life. The students probably loved it. Can confirm, student, would have loved it. I probably would have laughed my ass off tbh. I had a student give a smart-ass response to a question I asked, and before I could respond his mom starts chewing into him and hitting him with a chakla. His mic and video was on for the whole thing. Edit. For all those asking, I did not report the single mother who took time off from her only remaining job during a pandemic so she could make sure her sons were able to access their education. Didn't strike me as abusive. I did call her after school to talk and let her know I would keep her updated on how her son was doing in my class so that, hopefully, between the two of us, we could keep him out of trouble. Some of y'all clearly didn't grow up around Hispanic families. Lane Chakla is part of the culture. Edit 2. Clearly hit a nerve with the last one. Abuse is not okay. I have reported and will continue to report abuse. What I witnessed was clearly not abuse. Context is important. What was the question and response? I gotta hear this. Also sorry if I'm not responding to all the comments. Edit. 4 more messages have popped up while I was writing this. Edit. 5. Edit. 6. Edit. I'll just stop and read them. Can't believe my first thread on this place is actually working well. Honestly, I can't even remember the question but he said, fuck this gay shit. Just a dumbass 8th grader trying to look hard on his first week of online classes. Till, chakla equals flip-flop. I love that word. The very sound of it. It sounds like something you would slap someone with.